All right, welcome everybody to Purplest Prose. Thank you for your patience as we got set up here. It's a little bit of a complex stream, so we had some stuff to work out with OBS. But we are here now, and I am joined by our 4 lovely romance writer wannabes for today. Some of them actual romance writers, and some of them with no idea what they are doing.
Emphasis on the wannabe.
First up, we have one of my dear friends, and you know him, you love him from the Lemonhead Twitch channel, Greg.
Hello.
Not Matthews, as we found.
What was that earlier?
Pillow is looking fabulous, Neb. I agree, and that leads me to we have Pillow Cat, our lovely mod, somebody who actually knows a little bit of something about romance. Somebody who also knows something about RPGs, romance, and erotica fiction is Bev Tan, who you met on our June charity stream. Also, I need to fix my overlay here so that our thingamabobs are not... I'm going to put the overlay on top so our alerts are not underneath Bev's face. All right. Also, finally, you know him, you love him. It's Michael Smallwood, who might know something about romance. He knows something about writing. I don't know if he's ever written in this genre before. We'll see.
He knows a lot about romance, a little bit about writing, and nothing about romance writing.
We'll see. So, I don't know.
I would flip those, yeah. I know a lot about writing. I feel like I know a little bit about romance, and I feel like I know nothing about romance writing.
So I just want to ask the chat, I got a little bit of music running in the background. Let me know if that's too loud, too soft, if I need to adjust that or anything, or if you can hear it at all. And also, one thing for our writers today and for the chat as well. This is we're going to be talking about some mature topics. This is a mature rated stream. If you were a minor, maybe sit this one out from the chat. The really sexy music just began. Oh dear. Y'all can't hear it, but I can.
Is it really sexy? Like, how sexy?
It's a little saxophony. It is. This one's very saxophony.
A little saxophony.
What a descriptor.
So yes, we're trying not to violate Twitch's terms of service. So we're gonna keep it very romantic, slightly sexy, mostly euphemistic and innuendo based. You can replace any explicit term with an innocuous term, and we could do that. And in the chat, we ask that you abide by similar content guidelines. I don't want to see any graphic descriptions of body fluids and acts, or else the mods will bap you, because we are trying to, even though we're advising minors to sit this one out, we also still don't want to violate Twitch's terms of service and get my entire account banned. Like, let's not do that. So, the way that this game is going to work is all of our romance writers here have come with a predetermined pen name and biography, and I'll let them introduce themselves as their pen names and stuff in a sec. And from there, they will randomly roll dice to be assigned by the editor, me, of Octopunk Publishing, which I should have come up with some kind of sexy pun. And I will assign them a topic to write about. That will be what they will be writing about the entire stream. From there, every round, they will be assigned a different scene from their book to write. They will all have 2 to 3 minutes to write that scene, in which you guys will also be voting on who wrote your favorite excerpt every round, and at the end, whoever has the most points has written the best book and wins.
I thought of potentially a good publishing name for it, but I don't know if it's too racy or not.
Anyway, I'm gonna let Pillow go first with her pen name and biography. Pillow, who are you?
All right, everybody. So my name is Cicely Crotchfire. Yes, and I am an up-and-coming romance artiste. I've honed my craft in an overseas retreat in Rhode Island, and my writing is known to inflame even the coldest of hearts with lust, and it's sure to have all my readers dropping their pants faster than at the urologist's office.
Sexy.
Yes, I've studied, all the greats, especially, all the cishet white men who have perfected the art of, putting to the page the human experience of love and passion.
All right, thank you, Cicely Crotchfire. Michael, who are you playing as today?
All right, great. Also, I went ahead and dropped into my Google Drive of that potential publishing name for you in case you want to look at that and see if that would work. I'm actually even gonna change this so that I can rename myself so that everyone can see the name that I chose. Great. So I today will be portraying Brooks Everhard. An accountant by day, I like to spend my evenings tickling the computer keys to stimulate the minds of my readers. When not preoccupied with such endeavors, I enjoy sitting with my dog Ed and watching The Bachelor and drinking a good Merlot.
All right. What was that name again?
Brooke Everhard, and Brooks Everhard. It will be here on the screen the entire time. I'll be going by it.
Got it.
The rest of the day. Brooks Everhard.
Brooks Everhard, thank you very much. Bev, who are you playing as today?
Oh my god, I'm so excited to be here and make fun of LA because I'm totally from there. Hi, today I'm playing as Cherry Pie, and that is P-I, not like the food, like the math. So I flunked out of culinary school, so now I'm a writer. I still totally love food though. Every day is Taco Tuesday. So we could do Taco Mondays, Taco Tuesdays. So I'm inspired by all the romance I see out in the food scene because food is pretty much porn, right? So I'm also inspired by serial killer dramas because I just love watching those as I go to bed, my cats. And, I'm into yoga, long hikes because, again, more of the romance stuff. I'm just such a big fan. So I wanted to participate in that. So now I'm an inspiring romance writer.
Thank you, Cherry Pie, like the math. And finally, Greg, who are you?
What a question that is. I am William Fisterbottom. I'm a bourbon aficionado. I get most of my story ideas from looking at cloud shapes before a heavy summer rainstorm, and half of my characters are based off of birds I see in my garden. The other half are just off the dome from my subconscious.
Well, maybe you'll get an avian story. So
I'm really hoping for a specific story. Michelle probably knows which one it is.
I have a question. Before we even begin, am I supposed to be keeping this straight? Do I need to not be breaking this entire time?
You can break however much you want. I'm not going to be able to
I can work on it, but right now I'm just going to be letting it go. I'm okay. All right. I just needed
You're going to have to remind me if I forget about my accent.
Okay.
I think the accent going in and out is part of the charm. So
There's a lot of work on the vocal cords to totally do vocal fry all the time.
Sounds exhausting.
There was something I was going to mention about how we're going to play this that I've totally forgotten, but I'm sure it'll come up. So the next step is to get out those 2d6 dice each of you have. I have essentially a grid here that came with the game. And for those of you who want to play this at home, Purplest Prose is available on itch.io. It's like $5. It's very affordable. It's an indie game. And essentially, I will ask you each to roll, and you'll tell me a number that you get, and I will tell you what that number corresponds to on the grid. And the first two numbers will be your character archetypes, and the third number will be your scenario or trope. All right, so Pillow, let's begin with you. Go ahead and roll that first die. Oh, she got box and everything. She's ready.
Yeah, my brother is a huge D&D nerd. Shout out to Pillow Bro. Oh god, that's loud. I got 4.
Okay, and roll again.
5.
Teacher. Your first character is a teacher. All right, now roll again. God, the sexy music still going on.
3.
3. And roll one more time.
6.
Dragon.
Okay.
You are writing a romance between a teacher and a dragon. Now we're gonna roll one more time to see what meet cute scenario the teacher and the dragon will have to go through.
I'm liking this so far. 5.
Okay, and one more time.
4.
Pen pals. The teacher and the dragon start out as pen pals. All right, so Cicely Crotchfire, was that your name?
Yeah.
Just making sure I didn't completely butcher that. That is going to be your assignment from Happy Hearts Publishing Company, which is apparently the canon name of the publishing company that I run. All right, Michael, go ahead and roll for your first character.
All right, here we go. 6. 6.
6 is superhero. Okay.
Okay, great. I'm gonna jot some notes down here. And then, okay. Rolling again. 6.
Okay.
5.
Demon. A superhero and a demon.
Strong start.
So you're just writing
All right.
supernatural.
Yeah, listen. Much like the improv stream, without knowing much of anything about it, I'm apparently writing supernatural.
And
All right.
what is their scenario?
6.
Okay.
Where are these dice when I'm actually playing D&D?
You and I got the same dice.
3.
I'm in love with the reincarnation of a god. So, demon and superhero with the scenario, I'm in love with the reincarnation of a god. Congratulations, Brooks Everhard. You are leading our high fantasy line of Happy Hearts Publishing.
Understandable, thank you.
All right, Bev Cherry Pie, you are up.
All right. I have a 1 and a 4.
Okay, prostitute is your first character. And your second character? I
Well, I
love
did a
the
1
very
and a 4.
involved cat.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my agent. He wanted to lick. He kept trying to lick the screen. What was I doing?
Roll again.
3,
And second number?
2.
Wizard. So prostitute and a wizard.
Running fantasy.
What is your scenario? You roll each die one more time.
Got a 6 and a 6.
Time travel. So the prostitute and the wizard in a time travel adventure. All right.
Okay.
All right, and Greg, what's up with your dice? Your first character.
I can roll both at once, right?
They kind of need to be in order because it depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 4
Okay.
and 5.
Oh, well, you rolled teacher again, so let's see if I reverse those. I don't want to do that. Roll again. I got cop, and I was like, let's not.
6
All right, 6, and
and 5.
you got angel. All right,
Okay.
your first character is an angel,
I can
and
work with
roll each one more time, and we'll get your second character.
It almost fell off my desk.
Connie says, so many teachers, please, it's the weekend.
1,
1, all right, and your second number?
2.
Writer. An angel and a writer.
Huh.
And very self-insert story here. And what's
Yeah.
their scenario?
Let's find out. 1,
Okay.
2 again.
Office romance.
What?
An angel writer in an office romance. Go for it, I guess.
There goes my idea.
What
So
did you
we're
want to
doing here?
write? I just want to hear it out. What were you
Huh?
planning on writing?
I had 2. So I got the first title I thought of was I Froze My Nose While Sucking Toes.
And it was a Yeti story. Yes.
Yeah, it was about 2 teenage Yetis losing their virginity to each other, and it was going to be like coming of age story. I don't know. And then the other one, it was going to be a Hanagram and Lady Ditremescu thing, because I feel like Hannibal and her would get along great.
You know, you laugh, but like one of my favorite film genres is coming of age stories. So I probably would have watched that Yeti movie.
Yeah, because in my mind, it was the Yeti grew up watching Yeti porn, and so he didn't know that Yetis are naturally cold. And so the first time he has sex, his like Yeti dick freezes, and no one ever told him that could happen. And so he's very confused, and it's all about how we need better sex education.
You know what? People are laughing, but Richard Linklater could make that movie work. Like I'm here for it. Like
Angel Rider Office Romance, I can do this.
Would you feel better if I made it Yeti writer office romance?
No. Don't change it for me. The dice have spoken.
Okay. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to assign you a scene, and you're going to have. I told you 3 minutes in your original message, but I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna move it down to 2 because that's what the rules actually say. And I also thought you had to write the whole book in 3 minutes, and I was like, well, clearly 2 minutes isn't enough, so I gave you an extra minute. But I think each of these scenes 2 minutes will be okay. While you write, I'll just chat with the chat a little bit. And the way this will work is in subsequent writing rounds, that's when I'll put up the poll and the chat will judge the previous round and everything. The first scene that you're going to be writing, and I'll tell you when your 2 minutes begin, is your introduction of your first character. And it can be either of the characters. I'm not picky. It just has to be one of them, and then you'll introduce the other later. But pick one of your characters to introduce to your story, and your time begins now.
Shout out character names for me, guys.
Can we use the chat as help? I don't know. If
Can we use
the
audience
chat as
participation
help.
as allowed? Am I wasting my minutes doing this? Throw me lesbian names.
That's another. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Your story does not have to be heterosexual. Your story can be lesbians. Your story can be 2 men. Your story can be non-binary characters. Your story. It could be a threesome if you want to invent a third character. That's fine. If you want to make it a love triangle, I'm not gonna say you can't. But it does not have to be a male-female relationship. You can.
I feel like that goes without saying. Like I started writing down notes and was like it just, yeah, I was like naturally not writing. It felt like it went without saying.
Throw me lesbian names, please. Let's see.
Brandy, says JJ.
Okay, we're gonna go with Brandy. Brandy's a wizard.
Heterosexuality in this economy, right? All right, got about another minute. JJ's like, that's all I got. I have no creativity left other than that. This is the part of the stream where I'm like, man, what was I gonna do for this? It's just people writing quietly.
Yeah, you got to vamp. Like, do some jokes.
I gotta work out my stand-up routine while we.
Yeah. I hope you've got your type 5 ready. Like, let's go.
JJ says Lynn is a lesbian name, and I'm like, no, Lynn is the middle name of every Southern girl, like myself.
Yes, narrate these suggestions to me, please, because I can't read the chat while I'm writing.
Lois is a great lesbian name. All right, I'm gonna give you like 15 more seconds. I may as well go up to 3 in the future.
2 minutes is fine.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Your character, whatever you have said so far, is your character's introduction.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
So now, I will. Who am I going to share first? That was Michael's suggestion for the publishing company. In case anyone was curious about what he suggested. All right, here we go.
It works. It works on a lot of levels.
All right, so as your editor, I'm the one who gets to read these aloud.
Oh, the publishing company title, and also it's their slogan, all the erotica you can eat. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. We'll get there.
8 arms of erotica.
We'll get there.
I mean, oh goodness. All right.
A buffet of choices? I don't know what I'm doing.
A buffet. Oh, you're one of those people who puts food in it, aren't you? I'm trying to get the chat up here because I got it when I have this up. I can't use the chat. Here we go. All right, so chat's up. Great. All right, so Michael Smallwood, Brooks Everhard, rather's first introduction of his first main character. The calm of the busy downtown area was ruined by the explosion of a skyscraper. I'm trying to move OBS out of the way. Maybe I'll just make OBS bigger and just read it through OBS. There we go. The calm of the busy downtown area was ruined by the explosion of a skyscraper. From the debris rose Major Powers, his rippling muscles glistening with the sweat of battle. He looked up high into the sky, running a hand through his thick forest of raven locks. His tattered cape fluttered behind him as he looked for his opponent. The smirk never left his face. Much to his chagrin, he could not find the person he battled. And we see that Michael is a natural writer. That's pretty good, Michael, actually. This could actually be a book.
I
was like, I don't know.
Hard.
All right, on to a cherry pie.
Oh, God. I'm one of those, like, post-it note writers. I just write, like, pointless blurbs that don't mean anything.
All right, let's... crap.
It's a valid strategy of writing.
All right. Another day, another day, another bad date. Brandy was ready for time warp magic because she was determined to find love. Across space, across time, she was determined to find love. If they weren't in her timeline, she was gonna find them. Yay, magic. All right, so Brandy, the time-traveling wizard lesbian, going to meet her true love. I can't wait to see what happens next. All right. Pillow. There we go. There's your writing. Okay. Cicely Crotchfire's debut novel. Johnson McFiddles was a hale specimen of a man with arms as thick as an anaconda that had swallowed another slightly larger anaconda.
God, these are all so good.
He walked into his teacher's office, which was clean and neat, just like his chocolate-covered hair. Chocolate-colored hair, rather. I forgot that he's supposed to be the dragon. The dragon being hot for teacher.
I'm gonna die.
What was your scenario again? Pillow?
Dragon and teacher,
Pen pals, wasn't it?
Pen pals.
Yeah.
Pen pals. That's right. I don't know how you're gonna fit the pen pals thing in here, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh shit.
All right, and finally, we've got.
Before you do mine, I want to say I've never written anything in my life, and I've always appreciated people who can write. But that being said,
you used to write fan fiction of my stuff, which was super amazing back in the day.
It was just brutally meta.
Hey man, we own our shit around here. Like, you be proud of your work.
I know. Well, at least now that I see what everybody else is doing, I feel like I can step my game up a little bit.
You got it.
Okay, so here we go. We have all of his.
I ran out of time.
I showed all your notes off in
you
case
can show
anybody.
them. I'm kind of proud of a dildo for Dutramescu.
Yes, here's just some of Greg's notes. What the fuck is in my pants being my favorite of his working titles. I also just love Bussy ? Flushed with love, a truck stop tryst, parentheses, no idea.
That's just such a good title. Somebody's got
It is actually a really good title.
Somebody used that title.
That's a really good title.
William Fisterbottom. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
William Fisterbottom. Here is his actual first.
Bum Tiddington for some reason.
William Fisterbottom, I made a Diablo 3 character, and he was an unarmed monk. And that was the whole joke.
Bum Tiddington. Oh, God.
All right.
I also love how a dildo for Dimitrescu, parentheses, what it sounds like. All right, so this is his actual story.
Yeah.
Jacob hated this assignment. Give him a battlefield to watch over, or a natural disaster to help with. But a fucking office job? He was trapped in an office while alive?
Yes.
By some twist of fate, as soon as he got his wings, he was sent to watch over another one. At least his wings were pretty sweet. Black with gold highlight goes with everything. So at least he gets to look good while watching over this IRL purgatory. Can you smash?
I ran out of time. Yeah.
I love this.
I love that I totally forgot physical descriptions of my entire character intro. I'm the only one.
Greg, you said you have to step it up. This is actually how books are written these days. A lot of people use just third person close, heavy voice narration. So I like this vibe. It's
it's not going to be great, but it will get done.
It's very
Story of my
Dresden
life.
Files. I can tell that you like that series.
I do.
All right, so that is our first round. So now that we have everybody's character intros up, now I get to put up a poll. So I'm going to create this new poll. But I would say, mods, please help me with this in the future because I have to type in everything every time. Who wrote the best excerpt? All right, responses. We got Greg, we got Michael, we got Pillow, and we got Bev. We're gonna run this for 2 minutes, and now the chat can vote on it. All right, so while that poll is going, I'll get our writers started on the next round, and that is to introduce character number 2.
Okay.
All right, so get ready to introduce your second character. 4, 3, 2, 1, and your time begins now. The key smash really does make it. I just had to pronounce it, A lot of the chat saying they want Greg to write these other stories too, which is fantastic.
I was, maybe the Hanagram one. I got an idea for that one, actually.
All right, we got about 1 more minute left on that poll. And we got 1 more minute left for writing. And I thought De Trute Avut was the trashiest romance. All right. Well, that's cool that it just gives us that at the top. Great. I need to actually be keeping track of who's winning. Austin, if you're watching this, bring me a pen and paper, please. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is the end of our second round. Before we continue on our second round, I will say that Michael won the previous round for best scene number 1. So that is 1 point.
Well-deserved.
1 point for Michael.
Major Powers?
Major Powers. Yeah,
Major
I've
Powers.
already thought of a great joke
Thank you.
for that later.
I love how I get to summon things. It's great.
Major Powers was a very strategic choice of a superhero name.
Such a good name.
Michael's thinking next level.
He's already outlining the
He's
third
got
act.
it, yeah.
I had to think forward for a name that would work really well as a
Already on the cover art.
reference for the sexy times.
All right, so let's see what we've got for this round. All right, so we're gonna start with cherry pie this time. We're gonna start with Bev.
I'm way too wholesome for this, is what I'm learning.
All right,
I'm usually not that wholesome. Michelle knows this.
not usually, no. Here we go with the introduction of character number 2. We already have our first character, Brandy, the time-traveling wizard, and now we get to meet the prostitute. Hazel was not the average prostitute. She didn't believe in plastic surgery, so she kept the A-cups on her average build. It was an average night in New York City as she flopped down in her studio apartment in Brooklyn, deciding she was off the clock. You know what? Succinct, easy to understand.
I like that.
I don't write fast.
That
That's
works
what I'm
really
learning
well.
today. I thought I wrote fast.
All right. Mr. Everhard, here we go.
Much pressure.
Our second introduction of the
Great.
character. First we had a superhero, now we have a demon. Walking out of the rubble of the 45th floor of the skyscraper, Sean surveyed the ruins on the ground. Is this Sean from The Good Place?
Listen, it's a great name for a demon, okay?
It's just a good solid name.
Solid name for a demon.
They floated above the city, full of unnecessary and troublesome humans that would one day be ruled by Sean. The demon's amber and crimson wings fluttered. Sean caught sight of Major Powers on the ground, and their fangs cut deep into their own, trickling blood. They were filled with chagrin at not being able to defeat this pest. So you're going enemies to lovers, it seems. I like this. And also, I like that Sean uses they, them. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm also going to use the word chagrin in every paragraph I can because they use it a lot in Twilight.
Oh, that's a good
That and irrevocably.
call.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to use chagrin as much as possible.
But do they sigh?
I was told that I have to make people sigh. I haven't gotten there yet.
All right. Miss Cicely Crotchfire Pillow. So we met our dragon, Johnson McFiddles, and now we go on to our teacher.
Actually, I think I mixed it up.
His
about to say, yeah.
his teacher's office. He is a teacher. Johnson McFiddles is a teacher.
He's
who is-
just got
who is an
anaconda arms.
anaconda arm.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's confusing. So the Johnson is supposed to be the dude, and his teacher's a dragon, and I don't even know what's happening anymore.
The teacher is also a dragon, and Johnson is a normal guy. I'm still okay with this too.
I
all
don't
works.
know.
All right. He surreptitiously slipped an envelope from his breast pocket, hoping to slip it into the teacher's incoming mailbox. But all of a sudden, the door rattled with a tremendous shake that startled the envelope out of his meaty fingers. It collapsed to the floor and he gasped wheezily, looking for somewhere to hide as his teacher, Smaug, kicked the door wide open. What a twist! The teacher is also the dragon.
What a reveal!
Oh, I love this better. I love dragon teacher and normal guy.
This is
Dragon
amazing.
All right, and finally, we have Greg. Jacob saw William enter. He kept tabs on everyone coming and going. Young Willie had a confident stride and the body to match it. Probably the new sports writer, but no. Willie sat at the vacant romance advice column desk. What did this kid know other than to hit and quit? Jacob jotted his notes down and kept surveilling. So yours was writer angel office romance, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And Jacob is the angel, and then William is just a writer. Okay.
Right. But,
Right.
you know.
Got it. Oh my god. This is great. So, that was our second round. Mods, let's go ahead and get a poll going. I might, let me see if I can just run the same poll over again, or if it makes me type in the same stuff.
Oh, that's great. These are all great.
New poll. Oh, it just lets me do it again? Can I just, is that what's happening? Is it running again? I got the poll. Oh, word. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Neb's on top of it. Great. So,
Thank you, Neb.
poll is running. Maybe it says poll ended. I don't know what's happening. Neb will fix it. In the meantime, we're gonna write our third round. All right. So, let's see. What is our third round? Let's look at my PDF.
That's a good question.
Okay. So, our meet cute. How do our two characters meet? And actually, most of you have worked up to this. The actual introduction scene between your two characters interacting for the first time. Or in Smaug the Dragon's case, maybe not literally the first time, but whatever you want to do. Have your two characters interact for the first time. Have them meet, and let's see a scene of their cute, chemistry-filled first meeting. And your time begins now. I'm just assuming that they can hear my background music. I'm sure I'm going to watch this later and it'll be like, no, your background music, you were bopping to nothing. We can. Great. Music's good. Wonderful. I have four songs that just sort of loop. Hopefully, I haven't gotten tired of them yet, so hopefully y'all won't either. But those were the 4 royalty-free sexy songs that I could find. Just to give everybody a taste of what could have been, some of the things that we didn't pick for characters were chef, butler, single parent, alien, rock star, whatever magical boy means, pirate, ninja, samurai, princess, werewolf, airplane pilot, priest. Kind of wish we had gotten that. I love a good priest romance. Cue Austin coming back up here and being like, how dare you? Alien Rockstar would be pretty sick. Magical Boy and JJ from Seven Deadly Sins. Widower, or widow, sure. And some of the scenarios were, they're my landlord. How romantic. In love with my landlord. Sent to the wrong address, love on the battlefield, pretend to be my girlfriend. Class reunion. A genie granted your wish for a lover. And the Count of Monte Cristo revenge story. I think Michael could have done that justice. Pillow won the previous round, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And this round has 10 more seconds left in it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, finish up your sentence, 2, 1, and we are ready to look at our next round. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna start with Greg this time.
Oh. I barely got my sentence done.
All right, Brooks Everhard, what is going on with Jacob the Angel?
William Fisterbottom, ma'am.
That's right. You're not Brooks Everhard. You're William Fisterbottom. I'm sorry. I got my writers confused. It's all blurring together. So what's happening with Jacob the Angel and William the Writer? Let's see.
Nobody knows.
All right. Jacob knew him as soon as he saw him. Jazzard was a well-known demon in this city, but what the hell was he doing here? He saw Jazzard walk towards Willie's desk, and he knew he had to step in. Flying across the street and corporealizing, Jacob got there just in time and shoved Jazzard into the wall across from Willie's desk. Hey, what the fuck was that for? Said Willie. He owed me money, Jacob replied. So, I mean, of course Willie would fall for Jacob. He just saved him from a demon that he had no idea that was the thing. How romantic.
You know.
So, on to the next. On to Miss Cicely Crotchfire with the Dragon Teacher romance. All right, Pillow, here we go. Who dares enter my domain? Boomed Smaug in a voice that shook Johnson as if he had a label on him that read, shake well. Johnson attempted to dive behind Smaug's desk, but despite his athletically sculpted thighs that would be the envy of all naked Greek statues, we'll have to find out.
Apparently that's the end of the sentence.
Apparently that's the end of the sentence. We'll have to find out what happens to his mid-flight dive behind the desk next time.
Amazing.
Ms. Cherry Pie, here we go. Prostitute and time-traveling wizard romance. A door opened, but not the front door. It was the wardrobe door in Hazel's apartment. Well, this isn't Narnia, a velvety voice came from inside the wardrobe. Well, that was unexpected. Hazel had been watching way too many serial killer dramas and leapt up from her bed. Nope, not Narnia, and I'm not taking new clients. Not out of the wardrobe. She would have gone for a sword she kept under her bed, except she was distracted by this drop-dead gorgeous redhead stepping out of her closet. I don't suppose there's a nymph party happening in here, is there? Asked Brandy, way too calmly. I love this.
I want to read this.
This is actually a fantastic meet cute for these characters. All right, and finally, the actual Brooks Everhard with the demon superhero.
I almost didn't get this. Writing dialogue takes longer, so I
Takes a
almost didn't get this
minute.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sean landed on the ground with a whoosh and a whisper. Major Powers came storming over, the sun glinting off his pecs and shoulders. You're causing more destruction than you are saving anything. Maybe you're the bad guy here, teased Sean. Don't try to distract me, villain, barked Major Powers. Would it be easy to distract you, I wonder, asked Sean, their hands still clasped behind their back. I won't be confused, responded slightly chagrined Powers. I may not be smart, but I have huge fists. Yes, you do, sighed Sean.
Holy shit. Where is this going?
All right, so Neb, let's go ahead and get that poll going for who won round number 3. We have all of these lovely meet cutes that it's gonna be hard to pick a favorite out of that group. Lots to love here. Now, as far as our actual writers go, let's move on to our 4th round. This scene. Let's see what's happening in this scene.
Yeah, what are we doing? I don't even know what we're doing now.
So I'm gonna actually merge 4 and 5 because I feel like they don't make sense as individual scenes.
Do we get double time for that though?
I'll give you. I'll give you 4 minutes, I suppose. Let's give you 4 minutes because this is kind of an elaborate concept. But it's the moment character A fell in love and the moment character B fell in love. So the way your stories are going, I would say just continue your intro scene, but have them realize by the end of the scene that they are in love with each other, if that makes any sense. So by the end of this next round, your characters should be in love. Good luck. Your time begins now.
How much time do I have?
4 minutes. I'll give you 4 minutes.
Slowbird Rider! Ah!
4 minutes to make love.
4 minutes to have your characters declare love.
You can fall in love faster than that. Come on. Okay.
Slow burn speed run. That should be the name of this game. Slow burn speed run. There's people in the chat actually wanting to write fan fiction about Brandy and Hazel. It's like the story's not even done yet. At this point, she's writing fan fiction about Brandy and Hazel. You have the time, the running time of On the Road Again to be able to write 2 people falling in love. All right, the winner of the previous round, by the way, was Bev.
Yay!
All right, Greg, you gotta catch up.
More pressure.
You're the only one not on the board.
I'll get there one day.
Casey asks, is this where we get to the 18 plus part? That's next round. All right, round is half over. You have 2 more minutes. All I hear is just clacking. I'll use this opportunity to announce, although I haven't told Michael this yet, so hopefully... Michael, you are included in what I'm about to announce, just so you know. This is our last pilot, so we're going to introduce new recurring programming starting next week, and it's going to start with, we're going to do another Ships and Giggles next Saturday at noon. Michael, if you're available, you of course are invited to join us. You're the only one I haven't messaged about it yet. But I know we will have Michael Daly and Rune back, and we'll be joined by Marissa Rothbard, who is a very lovely friend of ours as well. Yeah, and there'll be another one on March 6th as well. That one Chris is down for. So we have at least 2 more Ships and Giggles coming in the next month. As far as what we have on Fridays this month, I'm doing all dating sims and romance games, and I'm bringing back Dream Daddy this Friday, and we're gonna take 900s, and he's gonna date a vampire boy. It'll be a lot of fun. And more cursed stuff. Yeah, Ships and Giggles was a good source of cursed content. All right, writers, you have 30 more seconds. Yes, Damien. That's the name of the guy from Dream Daddy, who's a gothy vampire person. That will probably be who I pursue next with 900s. Now that I've done the Robert route to completion. Right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Finish that sentence. 4, 3, 2. 1. All right, writers. How do your characters fall in love? Let's see. Okay, starting with Brooks Everhard. Your superhero Major Powers and Demon Sean. What's happening now? They'd been fighting for a week straight, it seemed. They'd taken no breaks. Sean didn't need to eat, obviously, but Major Powers was growing weaker by the second. Even Sean had to admit that they felt less than themselves. Each punch became less a collision and more a caress. They were struggling to stay upright, leaning heavily on each other's frame. It was in these moments that Sean noticed his perfectly structured cemetery that were Power's teeth, the deep wells of emotion that were his glistening orbs. Powers himself was noticing the beautiful purple in the slits of Sean's cat-style eyes. They were dancing now instead of fighting. Their touch was becoming less a competition and more a craving, a need and a necessity. Chagrin was leaving their bodies to be replaced with the white-hot desire of a single word. Need. I just love, very well done.
Powerful stuff.
They punch each other until they fall in love. What a story.
Look, I watch a lot of wrestling, okay? Like, it works out.
It's a delicate balance.
A delicate balance.
I love how my ultra sexy saxophone music decided to come on during this excerpt. Super great. All right, let's catch up with our prostitute wizard lesbians. Here we go with Cherry Pie, Bev Tam.
You have to scroll down because I don't like what it like.
How did you write
switches
so
pages.
much?
There's just a lot of spaces. That's like it's hard.
Well, these Greek nymphs sent me tickets to this tour of time and space speed dating thing, but then I took a wrong turn. What year is it? Brandy just continued talking like all of this was normal. 2020, Hazel said. Now she truly understood why this could be a calm and possibly fun situation. So, wanna come with me? Brandy asked, opening the door to the wardrobe. Through my closet? Don't worry, we'll be getting out of the closet on the other side. Paris, Greece, a couple different time zones. I made sure the Salem witch trials aren't on the tour. Brandy made a grimace at that. She was a wizard, not a witch. There's a difference, people. And so they went off in time and space together. It was at the top of the Eiffel Tower that Hazel was holding Brandy's hand, wondering if maybe they could be more than just speed dating buddies. But since when was she the type to shoot her shot? That's no more silly than every beginning of every season of Doctor Who. I mean...
That's literally the beginning of every season of Doctor Who. Yeah.
Is it? I've never seen Doctor Who.
It's a guy who
and
comes...
guess what? Yeah, you have. You just read it.
It's a person comes out of a phone booth and it is like, I'm a time traveling wizard. Would you like to come with me? And the random person's like, yeah, sure. And then, that's the beginning of every season.
I've
of Doctor
never
Who.
seen it.
You've never seen it, but you could write for it.
Naturally gifted.
All right, Greg, what do we have when we fell
I
in
don't
love?
know. It's more continuation of the last scene, but I feel like I'm on the right track.
Jacob the angel saving Willie the writer from a demon. How does this continue? Must have been a lot of money, said Willie. Holy shit, Willie was beautiful up close. The buttons on his shirt must have been made out of steel because his pecs were busting out of that shirt. Yeah, I guess it was, Jacob replied. He fixed his rumpled jacket and saw that Jazzard had disappeared. That's a sweet jacket. I love the black and gold filigree, said Willie. You should see me without it, replied Jacob. Let's go watch the local sports team and then see what happens, Willie grinned. Jacob said, you love them too? Great. All right.
Let's start with the basics.
Very, very much a bromance going on between these two.
Just, a romance writer himbo, angel himbo, just finding their way in the world.
Local sports team.
I didn't want to set it in a city,
And finally, we have the teacher dragon Smaug and Johnson. And how do they fall in love from Cicely Crotchfire. Smaug's smoldering head orbs alighted on Johnson mid-leap. He snorted in disbelieving rage. Smaug, Johnson stammered. That's Professor Smaug to you, Smaug retorted. Professor Smaug, right. Johnson took a deep breath. It's, I'm HTTYD fan 69. Hittit fans? How am I supposed to pronounce that, Pillow?
I actually don't know. It's an acronym, so you can just say the letters.
HTTYD fan 69. Okay. Smaug was stunned silent. You, he whispered, his booming voice now more like a tiny tympanum rather than the largest size. My love. Yes, it's me, Johnson answered, with his heart hammering in his chest. your pen pal.
I like that it's How to Train Your Dragon fans.
How to Train Your Dragon.
I don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's me.
It is
Your pen pal.
It's me, your pen pal. I can see this as I can see the anime version of this because after your pen pal, there'd be 2 seconds of
Exactly.
All right, another very, very tough round to vote on, but let's get a poll going and get everybody voting on round 4. What was your favorite meet cute, or not meet cute, how did they fall in love from everybody here?
All of these.
We're gonna have to. Now, this is where it gets fun. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes in the next round because it's a little bit of an elaborate prompt, but I want you to write their first hookup scene when they first get sexy. Remember Twitch's terms of service. Innuendo encouraged. Fade to black optional. I might be able to just put things on screen and not read them aloud. I don't know. But your time begins now. Pillow just put in the chat, help.
Wait, how much time do we have?
3 minutes.
Ah!
Good luck, says the chat. Let's hope no one's parents come in now. Yes, minors be gone. Shoo. I did rate this stream as mature for what it's worth. I think all my streams are actually rated mature. I think my whole channel is just blanketly mature. Which is a little silly that Opwu is, but whatever. Scrams minors. Michael won the previous round.
Well deserved.
A very competently written enemies to lovers progression in 3 paragraphs. All right, we've got roughly a minute left. I love one of these optional prompts that we could have gotten. Accidental roommates. How does that happen? I also love that you look just like my ex prompt. Which would have been really funny for Dragon. You just look like that other dragon I dated. I also misread he's my childhood crush prompt as he's my childhood cousin. Because his font is terrible, and I was like, cousins. I mean, that's a thing, I'm sure. If you went on Amazon, you could find self-published cousin erotica. Ugh.
Oh my god.
All right, 20 more seconds.
Shit.
Finish up that prompts. Somebody gotta finish. Everybody gotta finish. 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right. I can hear Greg cheating.
No, I'm on my last sentence. It's my last sentence. I swear to God.
You can finish your lesson. You can finish your
Ran out of
thought. That's fine.
time.
I didn't get the word chagrin in.
Oh, well,
No.
you said that the chagrin left them, so at least, you
That's
know.
true.
Like, I did say that it was leaving
had, like,
them, so...
three-
You know what? Actually, it's fine. Chagrin doesn't need to be in this paragraph. I'll get it back. Don't worry. I'll figure out a way.
It'll be
to
back.
Don't worry.
The next round will explain chagrin. Great. So now we get our sexy scenes, starting with Brooks Everhard, our superhero and demon romance. What do we got?
All right, let's see. Let's see if you guys like this.
Major Powers pushed his fingers into the long, luscious locks of Sean's hair and wrapped the strands into his fingers. You think a mortal can possibly satisfy me, teased Sean. At this, Major Powers clenched his fist around the captured shards of Sean's hair and pulled backwards, exposing their neck. Sean's wings flushed out and expanded to their fullest extent. Sean's eyes flew open in surprise and excitement. You've never had my Major Powers yet. With this, they were kissing and touching. Their lips were locked onto each other like lampreys or suction cups. Sexy. Their hands were exploring every hill, every crevice, every ripple of each other's mortal forms. The superhero and the demon locked their bodies and continued their battle on a completely different plane and in a completely different way. There were no losers here. All right. On to Cherry Pie's lesbian Doctor Who romance.
I ran out of time. I had like at least 3 more lesbian jokes to put in there.
All right. First hookup scene. Hazel didn't have to shoot her shot because Brandy did. Can I kiss you? It was a sudden question as they looked at the sunset. Their lips met with fire that glowed as vibrantly as the scene before them. With Brandy's magic ring, they disappeared into the twilight, reappearing in Brandy's bedroom. There were clothes falling on the floor, touches, caresses. Then Hazel paused. You're not like my clients. I don't want to be your sugar baby and go on all these beautiful adventures with you. I know, Brandy said. That's why we've spent the past 6 months on a very long date. You should stay here.
You all lesbians for the win.
Yours leads excellently into the next prompt, so you got a little bit of a leg up there. True lesbian date. We've just been on a 6-month date.
See, the lesbians in the room know how funny this is.
All right, now we've got our sexy Smaug dragon scene. Your pen pal. Smaug did his best to not knock over the romantically lit vanilla-scented candles with his tail, despite how excited he was to lay his claws on his love. Johnson, though he lacked a tail, was no less in danger of committing arson. This feels like a dream. It's not, boomed Smaug. And then they hooked up. And finally, what's happening with our writer's room angel romance?
We'll find out.
With William Fisterbottom, am I finally getting that right?
Yes.
Mr. Bottom.
All right. Scene, sexy time. Local sports team sucked, but the convo didn't. It flowed like the $2 beer, and by the end, Jacob felt a need in parts he no longer possessed. When can I see you again? Said Willie. Why not tonight? It's still young and the city never sleeps, Jacob replied. You've lived here, but let me show you it from my view. Jacob started to change and become his full self, wings and all. He had never shown himself like this, but fuck it. Willie stared but didn't back down. Let's go, fly boy. They took off into the night, clothes and inhibitions left on the ground.
Very tasteful fade to black. Next scene.
I love how they just shed their clothes and then nakedly fly off together into the All right, well, that's our hookup scenes for all of our characters. That was round 5. Let's get a poll going to see who won that round. In the meantime, we're going to start round 6, which is going to be a 3-minute round. This is going to be a round where your characters will be faced with their first argument. And in this argument, they, I think they have to break up. Let me see. Yes, they are going to break up.
No.
Temporarily. This happens in every romance. They break up, and then at the end they realize they're meant for each other and they get back together. But we have to have the everybody gets to the lowest point in the story part. So you got to break up your characters. Starting now. You have 3 minutes.
Hard.
God,
I'm so invested in this relationship.
Mom, there's a naked angel hugging his friend in the sky. They really are himbos in love, yes. You will have a happy ending. It's not a romance book if there's not a happy ending, but you gotta have drama. It's about the drama of it. Gavin and Nines didn't break up. Yeah, but Nines got put in the hospital, so that's close enough. It's still the same plot progression. Hello, Natalia. Welcome. We are playing Purplest Prose, a tabletop RPG about trashy romance writers. We are about halfway through our stories. We're about to break up our lovely pairings. Greg won the previous round. Greg is now on the board.
Yes. Not Ofer.
Everybody's tied except Michael, who's ahead with 2 points. So it's anyone's game at this point. Anyone can be the New York Times best-selling trashy novelist. I totally forgot when the timer started, so I'm going to say you have another minute. This is our first time playing a tabletop RPG at all on the channel. This is a pilot concept. I think it's going very well so far. There's a few more tabletop RPGs on itch.io which I have I've downloaded and I want to trial. I think what I want to do is maybe do like a group one every month and then like a 2-player one every month and alternate it with Ships and Giggles, but we'll see. There's one that I think me and Greg would do pretty cool. So it's a 2-player one about mechs.
Oh my god, yes.
I also agree this song sounds like Another One Bites the Dust, and I hope YouTube doesn't think it is. All right, 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, finish your thought, and we will read your big fight scenes that
Words
break
are hard
up your
sometimes, guys.
couples.
It didn't have to be a fight, did it? They just had to break up.
They just had to break up. Yeah, they just had to break up. All right. Let's start with Cicely Crotch Bottom. I know that's not your name. I'm mixing up all of your pin names.
That's fair.
I'm getting William Fister Bottom and Cicely Crotchfire confused into their child, Cicely Crotchbottom.
She's gonna have a rough life.
So, Cicely Crotchfire has written the continuation of her dragon teacher pen pal story. Here we go. After they hook up, I understand that Johnson prevaricated. But do you really need that much gold? Smaug snorted, a gust of angry breath spewing forth from his nostrils that worked remarkably well like a hairdryer to singe the residual moisture from his recently washed hair. You dare to ask me, human? He exclaimed. I mean, I was just asking. Silence! Smaug rumbled. I can't be with you like this. I mean,
I dig it.
That would be what they would come to a fight over. I agree.
And yeah, you know, gotta have. That's his hobby.
All right, Brooks Everhard, superhero demon, romance. What was the scenario for the superhero that I forgot.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, great. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want me to be your boyfriend, pleaded a downtrodden Major Powers. He was clutching his costume, still laying naked on the bed, unsure what he was hearing. No, stated Sean bluntly. They were refusing to look directly at Powers. But you were with me. I never gave that much of myself to anyone. I had never had anyone touch me or be with me like that, Powers said, his face flushed with as much chagrin as he could bear. It's not you. I appreciate what we've done here, bemoaned Sean, still focusedly keeping their eyes out the window and not on the poor young man they were hurting with their words. I'm in love with someone else, Major. I always have been? Who? Asked Major. Sean finally looked at Powers and caught their eye. The reincarnation of Ra.
Dun dun dun.
That's right, your plot was I'm in love with a reincarnated god. Okay. All right, well that's a great breakup scene. They cannot be together because Sean is in love with the reincarnation of Ra.
Yeah, there we go.
On to our Doctor Who lesbians. Sorry, Bev, you did it to yourself.
Doctor Who. Because I've never seen
Doctor
it.
Who lesbians.
All right.
I've met David Tennant before, though. I've just never seen any of his stuff.
Okay, so if I do move in with you, I have to quit my job. And what if my cat doesn't like your place? There were too many logistics for Hazel to handle all at once. But what she did know was that the past 6 months with Brandy had been magical. Then we can just get another place together, Brandy said, nonchalant. We can't just throw money at all of our problems and get whatever you want, Hazel pointed out. That's the point of magic, sweetie. I do get whatever I want. That was Brandy. Selfish, beautiful, a talented wizard. She was the it girl. This is why she always got what she wanted. Well, maybe that might have to change because you can't just have me like one of your other whims, Hazel said. Take me home, Brandy. I need to go back to my life. Oh,
Some heavy stuff.
heavy stuff. All right, and finally, why do the flying naked angel and writer break up? What's up with William Fisterbottom? Here we go.
Just it's a very human reason.
All right. The next few weeks flew by in a mix of feathers, fluids, and fucking, but Jacob knew it could never last. He had to get back to figuring out Jazzard's plot and fest. I love that you have a villain subplot. That's just On their weekly date, Willie borrowed Jacob's phone and Jazzard's photo popped up. Jacob saw those beautiful auburn orbs go wide and knew the next question would be rough. Willie struggled to get the words out. Who the fuck is this? He's nothing, just a guy from work. Jacob struggled to think up a line other than my ex.
Always a classic.
I also love the plot twist that the villain demon is his ex.
You know.
Very good omens in here. I love it.
Pretty much works. I mean, look, these are all so good.
I have to admit, every one of these, every round, is better than I expected this whole game would go. So congratulations to all of our writers. Let's get a poll in the chat to vote on who your favorite argument scene was. Now, the next scene will make up for some of this. We have... what do we have time for? I think I'm gonna do it my own way. Our next round is going to be the the making up, the resolution of the argument where they realize they can't live without each other and they want to get back together. So how do they overcome this argument, and how do they heal from the wound and get back together? You have 3 minutes starting now. It's Rouchus says, I want to read all these books. Yes, this is the moment in Detroit Evolution where Gavin sits beside Nine's bedside and says, "Okay, Tin Can, I need you," and confesses his feelings. But yeah, some of the other group RPGs that we might do in the future, one of them is called Wild Speed Space Family, which is you RP as Fast and Furious 10 in space. And it's like a heist RPG. There's one simply called Heist. There's one called Surreal Estate, where you're a bunch of realtors trying to sell a haunted house. There's one called Mission Accomplished, where you are the HR department for a spy agency, and you're having a meeting with HR trying to explain why the last mission went so bad. A lot of good ones that might be coming up in the next couple of months. All right, the previous winner of the argument scene was Bev.
I cried.
With 48% of the vote.
It made me so sad.
It looks like we will have a definitive winner by the end, because after this, I think there's two rounds after this one, so this is the last of 3. I am also on board with the Doctor Who
So
lesbians.
is this like just them realizing they miss each other, or do they have to actually get back together at the end of this?
Yeah, they have to actually decide to get back together at the end of the scene.
Oh god, I need to write faster.
You have about 1 minute left.
Spell shit.
There's something called it was Dr. Evil's writing machine or something like that, where you write in it, and if you don't keep typing, if you stop for like 5 seconds, it starts backspacing your work and yells at you. It's very useful. All right, 30 more seconds. Yes, Brain Engine. I like the HR one. I think it's like a 2-hour campaign, so it's perfect length. It's like 4 players. I think I'll definitely be doing that one sometime in the next couple months. But as far as 2-player ones goes, I think I want to hit up that. Maybe not the Mech Bay one this month, but maybe next month. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish your sentence, and we will reveal, how do your characters get back together?
In a very stupid way.
All right.
Shit.
Let's check in with our Doctor Who lesbians first.
As we should. Previously.
I did not. My fingers need to go faster. It's so much more.
Previously with or currently with our Doctor Who lesbians. After the argument. Going home was easy. She could just step out of her wardrobe into her bedroom. Hazel tried to go back to her life, but being away for 6 months was not good for business. No one was attractive to her anymore. No one she wanted for a new client. At least she still had Snuggles, her cat, and her cat sitter had been very well paid. Branya, on the other hand, went on a spending spree bender. Did she really need to own 6 entire castles? Yes. But all the castles in the world wouldn't make her life sparkle the way that Hazel did. All the shinies in the world didn't mean anything if Hazel wasn't there to enjoy it with her. After a week, Brandy went to the wardrobe, but a bookshelf kept the doors closed. It had been moved in front of it. Hazel, she called through the crack in the door. Hazel, please listen to me. I'm sorry. I can't live with you, and I'm in love with you. Nothing means anything if your smile without you. I can't live without you, and I'm in love with you. Nothing means anything if your smile isn't here to light up the room despite the 22 chandeliers. The bookshelf moved. Hazel's eyes appeared in the doorway. Do you want to move into my little studio here in Brooklyn? That's the perfect resolution to their arc.
Did not have enough time. I had so much more. I can't type fast enough.
Well, we have 2 more rounds, and maybe you'll be able to fit it into one of those.
Please draw them. I see everyone go like, please draw them.
Please draw them. All right, on to our superhero demon romance. Our demon Sean is in love with the reincarnation of Ra. How is this going to be resolved?
Oh, wait, so Major Powers is the reincarnation.
Maybe? Is that a twist? We'll see.
I forgot the last scene, I'm sorry.
A knock at the door pulled Major Powers away from his chai tea latte. When he opened the door, he saw, much to his surprise, a soaking wet Sean standing in the rain holding out the Ankh necklace that Powers had seen Ra give them. What's this? Asked Powers, letting his chai tea latte cool by ignoring it. Much to Sean's chagrin, Powers looked great. They were expecting to see someone crying over a lost lover, but Powers seemed very strong, very tall, very dreamy. Ra gave me this, but I don't want it anymore, said Sean. What happened? Asked Powers. I realized I didn't need a god, or this symbol. I already had a god. Major was about to ask who Sean meant, but before he could, they leapt into his large and powerful arms and planted a kiss on his lips. Powers laid his hands on Sean's lower back and let the chai tea latte clatter to the floor. No words were needed. They could feel the electricity, and not just because they were powerful beings. It was love. And Michael, this is the perfect place to end for the next round, so you have a leg up going into the next scene. All right. On to Sicily Crotchfire, the Dragon Teacher Pen Pal romance. Smog wants too much gold. How will this be resolved? Johnson's sobs were interrupted by a sharp thwack against the window. Sniffling miserably, he rose to his feet and peered out the window, then gasped. Outside in the pouring rain, which is apparently a theme, stood Smaug, looking as miserable as he felt and holding a sign in his dark claws. On it read the crookedly carved words, "I'm sorry, I love you." Johnson thrust open the window. Smaug looked up at him, a glimmer of hope returning to his smoldering eyeballs. With preternatural quickness, he flipped to another page, but it was too soggy from the rain to read. Fuck this, Smaug snarled and threw the sign page thing down. Johnson, I've given away all my gold. Please take me back.
All of it?
All of it.
All of it?
All the way.
That might need invest some of it.
And Johnson's like, no thanks, you're no longer rich. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Financial stability does make relationships easier.
Not the sign.
Not this. I know.
All right, and finally, our William Fisterbottom's reunion scene after the mistaken identity of Jazzard the Demon X.
Yeah.
You need to be honest with me. Willie looked at Jacob with such hurt in his eyes. Jacob knew he had to level with him. You're right, I need to. Here's the deal. I'm an angel assigned to watch your office space, and the person I shoved into the empty office is a high-ranking demon assassin who also happens to be my ex. I don't know his plan, but I know it's never good. Jacob waited for this to sink in. Oh, well that explains the wings then. I always kind of wondered about that. God bless Willie and his ability to understand. Willie looked at Jacob with a gaze that could pierce the heavens and said, "You want me to help you kill your ex?" God, I love you. Let's kill this fucker and go on a road trip. Jacob corporealized his flaming sword.
In my brain the whole time, I was just like, Willie never questioned his wings at all or anything. He just went with it. And he's like, oh, you're an angel. That explains a lot.
All right. right, so do we root for our reunited Doctor Who lesbians, our himbo angels, our reincarnated god superheroes, or our dragon in the rain with the sign? Vote now for our winner of the previous round. Now,
The two of us went with in the rain.
in the rain.
Yes.
God, I should have thought about the rain.
Yeah. That's where reconciliation.
That's where emotions happen, in the rain.
Yeah.
So our next round, next to the last round, like I said, Michael has a leg up on this one. Although I'm sure you'll all be able to spin this. You have makeup sex. They're makeup sexy times. Again, don't violate the Twitch terms of service, but write us a nice 3-minute spicy makeup scene.
Gotta limber up these fingers for the
So
makeup.
oddly wholesome today.
I mean, yours could just cuddle. It's fine.
Hey, cuddles are great.
While I'm writing this, I'm gonna bite my lip the whole time.
I don't know how to write terms of service agreeable makeup sex.
I don't know how to either, but we're gonna
You were
see.
the one who said you were just going to replace every genitalia with the word eggplant. But there's no dicks in your store.
There aren't any eggplants involved in this. They're lesbian.
You know what kind of foods are shaped like dicks? All the best kinds.
All right, your time has begun. Five Foot Jews Gashes suggests they ate sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Oh, thank you, the weekly fangirl with community gift subs. They had a water fight. Oh God. Just big balloon fight, lots of splashing. Have our little sexy boss nova. Greg won the previous round.
Oh, sweet.
Let's kill this motherfucker.
Let's kill this fucker and go on a road trip.
Just like himbos do. This poll was a close one. It was almost a 4-way tie. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, that poll was close. A couple votes separated every person. All right, one more minute. Scram to the miners. Yeah, it does give a different meaning, Casey, to everyone's drinking soup. Just use lines from De True to Vood out of context. Do you want to eat food? Yeah, I want to eat food. I'll eat all the food. Cook up some eggplant parmesan. All right, 10 more seconds. Finish up those last sexy thoughts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I see Michael has already lost composure at his own brilliance, apparently.
I don't know how to politely write steamy stuff.
We'll see.
You don't have to be polite.
I don't know what got into me, and I apologize.
I don't either. You know how you have an idea, and it's just like, let's just see where this goes,
No.
and then you're like, whatever.
That's his whole game.
You're a
This is
writer.
whole game,
Congratulations.
All
This
right,
is-
all right, William Fisterbottom. We're gonna start with you this time.
Oh boy. I didn't quite finish it, but story of my life.
the
I think it could be a
section
fade.
for the paragraph.
Fade to black.
A paragraph.
Jazzard was dead, his head mounted on the sign outside the city. William and Jacob had just finished loading up the truck for their coast to the trip, and all was right in the world.
Oh, it's trip to the coast. Trip to the coast.
Trip to the coast,
Yeah,
and all was
sorry.
right in the world. Willie looked at Jacob and said, "You know what this truck needs? To be christened. Let's see how much room there really is back there." Jacob didn't transform for this. He wanted to be here in his body he used to think was weak, but that Willie would show him was capable of so much pleasures. "Good thing I got scotch guarded all the leather," Jacob said. "Show me what you got."
There was supposed to be an ending to that, but maybe there doesn't need to be.
Maybe there doesn't need to be.
Oh, there will be.
Yeah. Again, tasteful fade to black.
Very tasteful. I mean, it does get a bit aggressive because we talked about having to scotch guard the leather, which implies not a tasteful fade to black, but very tasteful.
That's an inside joke for me and one person who I haven't talked to in years. He would make references to scotch guarding all of his cars, and I was like, dude, you're gross.
Oh God. But the funny thing is like I where this story began, I didn't see it ending with sex in a truck bed.
Neither did I.
I like that the sex scene started with the phrase "Jazzard was dead," and I was like, "Where are we going?"
We had to, you had to finish that story.
It's an epilogue. You
had to
gotta
tie
wrap
up the
up your
subplot.
loose ends. Yeah. All right. So how are Major Powers and Sean? The entire apartment was shaking. Powers and Sean were entwined in one another and were rocking more than the waves under the ocean liner Titanic. Powers' massive fist was locked around Sean's throat. They placed a hand on Major's hair and leaned in close to whisper, "Show me the kind of powers that Raw could only dream of." Major smiled brightly, and with a lack of chagrin that would make the greatest champions admire him, he increased his power and rhythm. Neighbors several blocks over felt a deep and satisfying rumble in their own bodies. It would be talked about for years to come. You should do this professionally, Brooks Everhart.
Definitely a side gig in this.
Maybe.
Oh, all right. What about our Doctor Who lesbians?
Not
Just
very
moved in
sexy.
together.
They're so wholesome.
All right. Can I come out of the closet now? Brandy's voice was softer than anything Hazel had heard before, vulnerable even. It was so different from the sultry velvet confidence that Brandy usually had. Hazel opened the door, took Brandy's hand, and pulled her out of the closet. She kissed her, those lips that she had missed for an entire week. She had been lost without her other half. Instead of the grand views and fancy hotels, they were on a full-size bed in Brooklyn. The clothes they were wearing joined the pile of unfolded laundry on Hazel's floor. It was just like the first time they had been together, kissing and touching and face-sitting and all that good sexy stuff. There wasn't...
I love it.
There wasn't even an exciting time to be in. 2020 was boring, but at least they would have an excuse to never leave each other unless they were traveling through the wardrobe. Oh, all that good sexy stuff.
All that good. I mean, it was so wholesome and
All that
sexy,
good sexy
also
stuff.
Very specific.
Just-
Very good.
Threw that in there. Oh.
Love that got thrown in. Yeah. Because you gotta.
All right. And finally, our dragon teacher pen pal romance. How did they have their makeup sexy times? What's up, Cicely Crotchfire? Are you sure? Smaug spoke in a trembling voice. Yes, Johnson sighed breathlessly. I want this. As Smaug embraced him, the heat of lust blooming in his chest was so hot that Johnson felt like he was being cremated. Just what I want to feel when I'm having sex, like I'm being cremated.
Exactly.
For how long had he pined for his pen pal teacher's touch while they exchanged letters back and forth? It felt like his entire life. Except not when he was a minor, of course, because that would have been fucking weird and inappropriate. Much more fucking weird than fucking a dragon who was also a teacher, which he was doing right now.
I feel like I'm really in this character's head. I love it.
Fucking
I'm crying.
I love this paragraph. I love that it breaks down both like what would have been weird and what isn't as weird as what would have been weird.
Levels to this.
I loved that.
All right, so we got
Holy shit.
another poll. Who won that round? And we got one more round for our writers to write. Okay, so let's get the poll going in the chat. And our writers will have 3 minutes to write the happily ever after for their characters. So you can take it as a 1 year later, what are they doing, the kind of an epilogue. You can write it as a direct continuation of your previous one if you have more happy ending to write. But just what is the happy ending for your lovers? You have 3 minutes starting now. Oh, that was fantastic. So far, our scoring system suggests that you are all rather equally matched. All this proves is that, you don't need experience to write.
Just need a pair of dice.
Just need some dice and some imagination.
Yep.
You don't even need time. Look how fast it is. They've written entire short stories in an hour and a half. I'm sure there are far worse things on Archive of Our Own and that have been actually published. There was actually this, I wanna ask if anybody in the chat remembers the LiveJournal community, Weeping Cock. That was the name of the community. The entire purpose of the community was to find excerpts from terrible fanfic, or actually terribly written, usually Anne Rice novels, and just post awful euphemisms and stuff that they found, and all the comments were just making fun of it. And there was some stuff I read in that community at a formative age that will be burned in my brain forever. Pillow won the previous round, which brings our score to a 4-way tie. Each of you have 2 points, so whoever wins this next round will be the definitive winner of Purplest Prose. So make sure those endings sizzle. You have 1 minute left. Dom Larry's unforgettable. It's Rouch's, why would you remind me of that? So apparently a few people are old enough to remember the good old WC. Sad queefing sound was from that community. I'll never forget that one. She made a sad queefing sound. 20 seconds. Warden Mages remembers. All of us, like late 20s, early 30s folks. We were there. Early internet. 10 seconds. Finish up those final thoughts and the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Sentence is done. Let's read your happy endings, your finales.
See. I hope you all like it. I hope you all like the ending.
I'm happy with where mine ended.
We will start with Sean the demon and Major Powers the superhero.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
I can hear someone still typing.
Sorry, I was fixing to type it.
It wasn't me.
All right. Sean walked out of the Starbucks, 2 tea lattes gripped in their fists. They'd had to walk sideways out the door to accommodate their wings, but there was something lovely in the idea that this would be the most annoying part of their day. But Major was missing, no longer standing where he was a few minutes ago when Sean had taken the order. Sean looked around, and to their chagrin, they could not find their lover. And then the shadow crossed the sky. Sean looked up and saw Major Powers, cape fluttering in the breeze, flying off to face against a dragon that was attacking the newspaper building down the street. We're just having a crossover episode, huh, Michael? Sean smiled. They turned and found a woman about to head into the Starbucks. Miss, will you take these? I have to go help save the city. The woman took the chai tea lattes. Sean flew into the air to help their lover save the pitiful humans. The end.
I love it.
I'm so invested in this story.
I love the enemies to lovers superhero pair up, and yes, I do want to see both fan art and an extension of these characters. All right, on to how do our lovely wizard lesbians end their story? From Bevtan's alter ego Cherry Pie. Compromise had to happen. Brandy was cool living in Brooklyn, but dear God, Hazel needed to fold her laundry more often. There were no less than 3 hampers of clean, unfolded clothes on the floor, and she could not deal with it. Brooklyn gained a castle, even if Brandy had to buy and level an entire city block to make it fit. The wardrobe was not going to fit the clothes of 2 women. It became a walk-in closet. For the nostalgia, there was lots of sexy times happening in it. They traveled time and space together. They traveled time and space together, holding hands, holding swords. Eventually, the 2 got married. The bridesmaids were demons. The other bridesmaids were strippers. A dragon was the officiant. It was a very strange wedding, but in Narnia, everything was relatively normal. And they lived happily ever after. Just everybody putting dragons in their stories.
And demons. Apparently Sean was there.
They make it good.
Yeah, like we're all crossing over.
I do love to think that all of your stories exist in the same multiverse.
I do want to say, after like the second scene, I really thought about
happy
writing
ending.
Sean and Major Powers. Like they leveled the office building that these 2 were in.
That would have been awesome.
I didn't know where you were going to go with it, and so I didn't want to like cause problems.
No, that would have been great.
You know, because canon is really important here.
Yes.
That would have been great.
Lesbians need happy endings
Yes.
I really
instead
do.
of all the tragic ones. So that's my little soapbox. I hate that every lesbian story, there's like somebody always dies or they break up. So I wanted them to be happy.
Don't bury your gays, folks. Yes. I actually thought that the idea of the demon dating the city superhero and the angel dating the newspaper writer would be hilarious if the newspaper writer was also the superhero in disguise.
Oh, I didn't even think
Like
about
Oh
that.
my god.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
One of them's dating Clark Kent and the other's dating Superman, and it's the same guy.
Same dude. Same dude.
Headcanon accepted. Willie is actually Major Powers all along. All right, on to our Dragon Pen Pal Teacher ending by Cicely Crotchfire. Johnson jogged up the steps to the college where he and his paramour worked together in matrimonious harmony. He shouldered his way into the office they shared while Smaug was hunched over his desk grading papers with little spectacles perched on his nose. Hey, darling, Johnson gave him a kiss on the cheek. Smaug replied. Man, being a teacher doesn't pay much, but maybe each other's love is all we need, Johnson murmured. Cringe, darling, Smaug said. But true. The end. had some hot takes at the end there.
I mean, listen, as a teacher, it is at least we have love.
All right, now finally.
Maybe teachers could have a bit more though.
Yeah, like maybe teachers should have more than just love.
All right,
Money
now
helps.
our final happy ending for Jacob the Angel and Willie the newspaper writer on a road trip. The road stretched on forever and Jacob never wanted it to end. They finally made it to the beach in time to watch the sunset, and it was everything Jacob could have wanted. Willie snuck up behind him and bear hugged him from behind. Hey, Flyboy, I've got a question. Shoot or shoot, what's up? Jacob said. Do we count as an office romance? I always liked those stories. The sunset seemed even more beautiful as it reflected off his eyes. Jacob looked at them and said, probably more of an urban fantasy romance, to be honest. And we end with the title of this book, Light as a Feather, Stiff as My Love. All right, now we go back to the chat to vote on the final, who will win Purplest Prose, because it's the tiebreaker round. Everybody right now has 2 points. The 3rd point winner will win the entire game. In the
Oh,
meantime, thank you all for being good sports and participating. This was a lot of fun, and you all did absolutely exceptional jobs at writing on the fly with your given prompts. I'm very impressed.
How did you find this game?
So that's actually a good question. I downloaded this game because it was part of the racial justice bundle that was put out by itch.io back in June. A lot of people picked that up because it was $20. You got 1,500 games, including a lot of tabletop RPGs, and this was one of them. So if you bought the racial justice bundle on itch.io back in June, you own this game, and you can check it out. It is also on itch.io to be purchased individually for like $5 or $3 or something very, very affordable. So go give them some love and some support. They are an indie developer. In the meantime, as we conclude our poll as well, we got about a minute left. I'm going to let everybody pitch their real life selves and where we can find you and anything cool that you've got going on, starting with Pillow.
Yes, I'm a bit of a practicing cryptid, so I'm not in a lot of places, but I mostly hang out on Twitter at pillow_cats with 2 T's. I don't do a whole lot else. You'll just see me modding on Twitch and being a mess.
What about you, Bev?
You can find me on Instagram at Beverly Tan Film. If you guys are serious about the fan art, send it. I will post your fan art. So I love on-the-fly writing. I'm a roleplay writer. It's my hobby. My real life, I'm a TV producer and writer, so I do that stuff. I've got some development projects. I write lots of really gay stuff. Pretty much is my life.
Do you still
I'm on
do
Clubhouse a lot, talking about really gay stuff and art, really gay art, and that is Beverly Tan is my Clubhouse thing. If you follow me and you're on that, I feel like I just talk a lot. And yay, I like artist friends, and I'm working on a bunch of really gay projects.
Do you still do live writing on Twitch?
No, I'm too lazy for that. I do it more. I would do it with you any day. Like, anytime you want to do this. I didn't realize how much I missed it till I did this, and I was so scared and so intimidated. But yeah, I had so much fun.
So before we move on to Greg and Michael giving us their pitches, I want to say our poll is ended, and Michael won the final round. Although I might be able to give
Deserved.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Thanks so much.
Let's see.
Very
Really
well
appreciate
deserved.
that. These are all they were all really great. This is my first time writing erotica.
Now, judging from our second place winner of the poll as well, I would say, Bev, you are our runner-up because you placed second place in the final poll as well.
Let's
And
go.
it was
Let's be.
Yes.
It's the most wholesome thing I've written in a very long time. Usually a lot spicier. But like, yay!
Yeah, I was surprised that I was able to do this without it getting intense.
Yes, everybody pretty much stayed within the terms of service and behaved themselves. So
Oh, it was
There's
a
a lot
time
of
limit. If we'd had
emotional
3 minutes,
intensity going on.
Time limit.
yeah.
Yeah.
If we'd had
And
3
I didn't
minutes, it
say
would have gotten
eggplant
raw.
a single time.
It would have gotten raw.
So, Michael, what do you got going on, and where can we find you?
Okay, so obviously you can follow me on Instagram at Michael Smallwood Forever, where I talk about a bunch of different things. Like I do my Movie Mondays, where I respond to various movies that I'm watching. I'm also, obviously, it's Black History Month, and you should definitely be watching and consuming Black media all year long. But in this month where people are actually paying attention to that sort of thing, I'm suggesting a whole bunch of movies that you should definitely be watching. So check my Instagram and Twitter for that. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Loves Gushers. You can listen to the podcast I do about Community, the TV show. It's Welcome to Greendale. That's what this t-shirt is. You can actually buy merch. We have merch. So you can go to welcometogreendale.com and get merch from the podcast that has my face on it. It's crazy. Lone Lion made these. And it's amazing, and you should definitely check out because their work is incredible. And then I just finished a new screenplay last night. I don't know what my next writing project will be, so I'll probably just be jumping on something like that. But we're in pre-production for What a Beautiful Wedding, which I'm very excited about. So
Super excited for that one.
if you and you can still donate to that to help us get that done, because we are in pre-production for that, and it's gonna be I'm really excited. The team that we have is phenomenal, and I can't wait to tell this story. So everyone should definitely check that out. And that's the next big thing I'm working on. So yeah.
Yeah. So and you can see the chat for the link to that PayPal pool where you can donate to make What a Beautiful Wedding. And finally, Greg, what do you got coming up this week? On your Twitch channel and otherwise.
I'm mainly on Twitch. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. But this upcoming week, I will only be streaming Thursday and Friday. I'm getting towards the end of Nier Automata, which has been a crazy game. Very excited. And then Friday, I've been doing a puzzle game called Call of the Sea. I'm there. I'm on Instagram, where I mainly post pictures of my dog. And I'm on Twitter at Mr. Lemonhead, on Instagram as well, at Mr. Lemonhead, where it's basically a stream of consciousness with whatever nerd shit I'm doing at the moment. So.
And as you know, I am Octopunk Media. You can find me wherever Octopunk Media will bring up a page. And on Twitter, I am Lady Twano. I stream 3 times a week. Opwu, Octopunk Weekly Update, Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is a half-hour show about all the fun stuff I'm working on every week. Friday nights are game nights, and like I said earlier, they're going to be all romance and dating sim games for the month of February. And this week, it's going to be Dream Daddy on Friday at 8 p.m. We're diving back into our Dream Daddy playthrough with our lovely character who is basically John Mulaney. And then next Saturday, our first repeat of a pilot is happening with Ships and Giggles, which is our Whose Line Is It Anyway-ish, like comedy game show, improv show.
Can I come back?
Yes,
Can I do it again?
yes, you are invited. I hope you are there.
Yeah, great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. I didn't want to assume. I don't know.
You're the only one I haven't officially told yet, and I haven't got a chance. But here you go. Yeah, it's happening. Be there. So that's going to be next Saturday in this time slot at noon. It is a lot of fun. You can catch our first episode on YouTube, where we did a game where we paired Hannibal Lecter and Pikachu in a rom-com and had 2 actors improv that. It's great.
That shit got weird.
Sounds weird.
In the meantime,
That shit got weird.
I noticed that our friend Luke Lemon Art is streaming Soma now, which is a really neat horror game. So let's go ahead and actually set up a raid for Luke Lemon Art. We got 9 seconds, 8 seconds. As always, stay great, hydrate, have a happy time zone. Thank you to my lovely guest today and to everyone who watched. I will see you on Monday for October.
Thank you to Michelle for putting this on.